Hey everyone! The first anime we have on the list is Our Last Crusade, or The Rise of a New World. A magical force known as astral powers spreads throughout the world, wielded by astral mages. Fearing its destructive power, the Empire persecutes those who show their abilities. The astral mages then founded the Nebulous Sovereignty to flee from the Empire, a region where they can leave peacefully, and since then, the two nations have been in bitter conflict, the war still going strong for more than a century. After committing the great crime of freeing an imprisoned witch, the talented knight Iska, who served the Empire, is sentenced to prison. A year later, the Empire leadership suddenly decides to set him free, with the condition that he hunts down a fearsome mage known as the Ice Calamity Witch. Hoping to end the war, Iska agrees. Coincidentally, the Ice Calamity Witch herself, Alice, who is part of the royal family in the Nebulous region, also wishes for peace and is willing to do everything she can to bring down the Empire. Though Iska and Alice are enemies, Iska is taken by her beauty and dignity, and the princess is moved by a strength and way of life. Will the fighting between them ever be allowed to end? The second anime on the list is The Hidden Dungeon Only I Can Enter. Despite his noble title, Noir Starga is at the bottom of the societal hierarchy. Because of this, his fellow nobles oppress him and treat him like garbage. However, he possesses a rare yet powerful ability to communicate with the Great Sage, an oracle that grants Noir the answer to absolutely anything. After failing to secure a job as a librarian, Noir decides to join the Hero Academy with his childhood friend Emma, who has a big personality. He knows he must become stronger. The Great Sage advises him to explore a hidden dungeon deep within the mountains. There, Noir meets Olivia Servant, a beautiful yet enchained maiden trapped within the labyrinth. Olivia bestows upon Noir a set of ridiculously powerful skills that grants him virtually total control over reality. Naturally, there's a catch. Every time Noir attempts to use his powers, his life points decrease, putting his life at risk. To replenish his energy, he must give in to worldly pleasures such as kissing his childhood friend or other pleasuring acts, although I wouldn't say this is much of a catch if you know what I mean. With his newfound powers, Noir begins his journey as a student in the Hero Academy, meeting new acquaintances and adding them to his harem. I mean, defeating monsters with their help. The third anime we have is Yonah of the Dawn. Princess Yonah lives a life of luxury and ease, completely sheltered from the problems of the seemingly peaceful kingdom of Yoka. However, the sudden murder of the king and betrayal of her beloved cousin Suwon places Yonah's life in danger. Forced to escape only with Son Hak, who is both her childhood friend and bodyguard, the naive princess soon discovers that Koka is not the perfect place she envisioned to be. Poverty, strife, and corruption run wild, making reclaiming the throne nothing more than a wishful fantasy given the kingdom's current state. Yonah must discover a way to restore Koka to its former glory while being pursued relentlessly by the forces of the new king of Koka. The fourth anime is Eden of the East. On November 22nd, 2010, Japan was hit by missile strikes, a terrorist act that fortunately did not harm anyone, becoming known as Careless Monday. Quickly forgotten, society goes on about their lives as normal. During a graduation trip to America 3 months later, friendly college student Saki Morimi's life is changed forever when she finds herself saved from unexpected trouble by Kira Takizawa. Takizawa is cheerful but odd in many ways. He is stark naked and suffers from amnesia, believing himself to be a terrorist. In addition, he possesses a strange cell phone loaded with 8.2 billion yen in digital cash. Despite Takizawa's suspicious traits, Saki quickly befriends this enigmatic young man. However, unbeknownst to her, this is the beginning of a thrilling death game involving money, cell phones, and the salvation of the world. The fifth anime is Elfin Lyde. Lucy is a special breed of human referred to as Diclonius, born with a pair of short horns and invisible telekinetic hands that laid her as a victim of inhumane scientific experimentation by the government. However, once circumstances present her an opportunity to escape, Lucy, corrupted by the confinement and torture, unleashes a torrent of bloodshed as she escapes her captors. During her breakout, she receives a crippling head injury that leaves her with a split personality. Someone with the mentality of a harmless child possessing limited speech capacity. In this state of instability, she stumbles upon two college students, Kota and his cousin Yuka, who unknowingly take an injured fugitive into their care, unaware of her murderous tendencies. This act of kindness will change their lives as they soon find themselves dragged into the shadowy world of government secrecy and conspiracy.
私が新さんに嘘なんかつくわけないじゃないですか。
じゃあ、太陽は何色だ？
そんなの黒に決まって。
嘘だ。ならなぜ昔のお前は太陽を赤く描いてるんだ？
The sixth anime is Trinity VII. One day, the bright red sun stopped shining, causing the breakdown phenomenon, the destruction of Arata Kasuga's town, and the disappearance of the people inhabiting it. All, however, is not lost. By utilizing the magical grimoire given to him by his childhood friend and cousin Hijiri Kasuga, Arata's world gets artificially reconstructed. In order to investigate the phenomenon, Lilith Asami appears before Arata, whose artificial world suddenly disintegrates. He is given two choices: hand over the book or die. However, Arata chooses the third option, enrolling in the top-secret magic school Royal Biblia Academy, where 6 other magical users await him. Together with Lilith, these 6 form the Trinity VII, the elite of the school who each bolster their own power and skill. With the ambition to save Hijiri and the help of his newfound friends, Arata stops at nothing to prevent the destruction of his beloved hometown and to bring his best friend back.
違くて、そんなつもり全然なくて、君もしかして。
The 7th anime is Guilty Crown. The story takes place in Tokyo in 2039, after the outbreak of the apocalypse virus during what became known as the Lost Christmas of 2029. Since then, Japan has been under the control of the multinational organization called GHQ. Omashu is a 17-year-old boy who mistakenly obtains a rare and great power. He can use this power, the right hand of the king, to extract voids, or tools or weapons, that are the manifestations of people's hearts. He has been rather shy since the childhood tragedy, but both of his personality and life change forever when he meets a girl named Yuzihira Inori, a member of the rebel group called Funeral Parlor, whose members seek the restoration of self-government in Japan via the ousting of GHQ.
罪も汚れも全部まとめて払ってやる!
The 8th anime on this list is Twin Star Exorcist. Magino, a parallel realm filled with monsters known as Kigari, is a place where exorcists deal with all impurities. Benio Arashino is a prodigy exorcist who is recognized for her strength and is summoned to Tokyo by the Exorcist Union. On her way, she plummets into the arms of Roiko and Amadu, a young exorcist with a troubled past. But the impurities of Manago do not rest. When these two exorcists witness a couple of children stolen by Kagare, Benio rushes to save them, dragging Roiko along with her into Magino. Engaged in a fight she is on the verge of being defeated in, Benio is saved by Rokuro, revealing himself capable of being her rival in talent. Twin Star Exorcist tells the story of two talented exorcists who are destined to become the Twin Star Exorcists, and the prophesied parents of the Miko, the reincarnation of Abe no Seimai, who will cleanse the world of all impurities. The ninth anime on this list is Danmachi. We follow the journey of Belle Cranel. Belle is an adventurer, one who goes forth into the dungeon to seek fame and glory while putting their life on the line to do so. There he encounters the talented and renowned sword princess Ais Wallenstein. Suddenly, he's love-struck. With the help of his goddess Heista, Belle sets out to conquer not only beasts, but also his fear of approaching the girl of his dreams.
間合いは3歩1 2 3 0点巨頭流まだ
おお、やったか。
ダメだ浅い
In the 10th place, we have Katara Gatari. In an Endo-era Japan, lush with variety of sword fighting styles, Shikira Yashuri practices the most unique one, Koyoturo, a technique in which the user's own body is wielded as a blade. The enigmatic 7th head of the Koyoturo school, Shikira, lives quietly in exile with his sister Nanami until one day, the wildly ambitious strategist Togame barges into their lives. Togame brazenly requests that Shikira helps with her mission to collect 12 unique swords, known as the Deviant Blades, for the Shogunate. Shikira accepts, interested in the girl herself rather than petty politics, and thus sets out on a journey. Standing in their way are the fierce wielders of these legendary weapons, as well as other power-hungry entities who seek to thwart Togame's objective. In order to prevail against their enemies, the duo must become an unbreakable team as they forge ahead on a path of uncertainty and danger. With that being said, that concludes our list. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, Anime Works, as well as turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos.